But what am I, really? Well, I'm definitely a body. And that body has parts. Let's model them something like this. And I exist, you can see me. So let's go through the parts of the body and just make them visible. Like this. And let's make them green, shall we? And then with any luck, you should be able to see me. There I am in the world. But I don't just sit there not moving. I have a direction, and I move in that direction, don't I? So how are we going to model that? Well, we're going to say, we're going to look, sort of metaphorically, look at the first part of my body, the leading edge of my body moving through the world. And we're going to say that moves somewhere else, like so. And then we need to say what happens with that. So basically, the new stuff that's coming up enters into my life, and the old stuff that's going away is left behind, like so. So with any luck, we should be able to see me moving through the world, but that should be model.dir. So you can see me moving through the world. But I don't just move in a straight line. Oh no, things that happen in the world affect me. So we can model that like this. Let's call them inputs. And different inputs affect me different ways. So if someone tells me to go up, you're going to basically see me go up. It's the way I roll. And if someone tells me to go down, you're going to see me go down. And to be honest, it's going to be pretty similar if you tell me to go left. Or if you tell me to go right. So we can see that I kind of get blown around like some chaff in the wind. Except I've got a bug. Oh, that should be for, not if. I get blown around like chaff in the wind. But that's not all that happens. I don't just move through this world. I also interact with it, don't I? So let's model that with a bit of food. I've got a very accurate model of the world here, whoops, which is that it's random. This function R that I've made is just a random bit of world. And let's say that you can see my food, so we know what we're doing. And let's make it red, shall we? Like so. So now we can see the food, but I interact with that stuff. It doesn't just sit there. So how are we going to model that? Well, if the leading edge of me comes into contact with some food, it's going to look a bit like this. No, it should be equals array. Equal arrays. So if my head comes into contact with the food, or the front, the leading edge of me, then things are going to change. First of all, the world itself is going to change when I interact with it. But secondly, I'm going to change, aren't I? And when I eat something, I'm going to grow. So how's that going to look? Well, a bit like this. But that leads me on to the missing piece of this picture, which is really what I wanted to talk about today, which is I'm so glad that we are all here, virtually or physically, at this conference, because when we become wrapped up in ourselves and even potentially consume ourselves, then we become a little bit less alive. And I'm very glad we are going to enjoy not being wrapped up in ourselves, but interacting together at this conference. Because it will help us to avoid being consumed into our own bodies or into our own minds and interact with each other. So let's model what happens when we become consumed with ourselves and not interacting with each other. So if our head gets to a place that is, in some sense, inside our own body, we become less alive. And we model it like that. So now, if I become consumed with myself, I die. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thanks for watching.